The wind howled across the frozen slopes of Kholat Syakhl, Dead Mountain. This was a place where nature reigned with an unforgiving hand, where the cold could bite through even the thickest layers, and the silence was broken only by the relentless gusts of icy wind. In February 1959, 9 experienced hikers vanished on this desolate Russian peak. Their journey was meant to be a test of skill and endurance, a winter expedition into the heart of the Ural Mountains. They were young, skilled, and prepared, but nothing could ready them for what awaited. Each member brought their own strengths, united by a shared passion for adventure and discovery. Their planned route, carefully mapped, was lost beneath the snow. The landscape shifted with every storm, erasing their tracks and swallowing their path into the white void. Days passed with no word. Families grew anxious as silence settled over the mountains. The world beyond the pass waited, hoping for news, fearing the worst. Igor Dyatlov, just 23, led the group, seasoned, confident, and determined. He was respected by his peers, trusted to guide them through the harshest conditions. But something went terribly wrong. A sudden shift in the weather, or perhaps something more sinister, changed everything in an instant. The mountain kept its secret, shrouded in ice and mystery. The silence grew heavier, as if the land itself refused to reveal the truth. The search began as a rescue, but ended in a discovery so bizarre it would haunt investigators for decades. What they found defied explanation and deepened the enigma. The hikers fled their tent into a blizzard, leaving boots and coats behind. In their panic, they ran barefoot into the night, as if escaping from an unseen terror. The Dyatlov Pass incident became a story not just of tragedy, but of enduring mystery. Newspapers speculated and rumors spread across the world. Clues were few and confounding, each one raising more questions than answers. A tent slashed from within, footprints vanishing into darkness, and no sign of struggle or enemy. Bodies found far from camp with strange injuries. Some showed signs of trauma that defied easy explanation, while others seemed to have simply succumbed to the cold. The mountain claimed their lives, but offered no clear reason. The silence of Kholat Syakhl was unbroken, its secrets locked beneath the snow and ice. Only questions remained, whispered by the wind across the empty pass. The world was left to wonder, piecing together fragments of a puzzle that refused to be solved. What drove 9 skilled adventurers to their deaths? Was it nature's fury, human error, or something far stranger? The world would search for answers, but the mountain remained silent. The mystery endured, growing with every retelling. The Dyatlov Pass mystery had begun, echoing through history as one of the most chilling unsolved cases of the modern age. The group was a close-knit team of students and recent graduates from the Ural Polytechnical Institute, bound together by a shared thirst for adventure and discovery. They were not just classmates, but friends who had weathered many journeys together, forging bonds that would carry them into the heart of the Ural wilderness. Igor Dyatlov, their meticulous and respected leader, carefully assembled his most trusted companions for a challenging Category 3 trek, the most difficult level of winter hiking. Dyatlov was known for his attention to detail and his ability to inspire confidence, even in the harshest conditions. Each member brought unique strengths and experience. Among them were Zinaida Kolmogorova, known for her courage and optimism, Lyudmila Dubinina, the youngest, with a fierce determination, Rustam Slobodin, a skilled athlete, Yuri Krivonishenko, the group's joker, Alexander Kolevatov, a quiet thinker, Nicolas Thibault Brignolel, strong and reliable, Semyon Zolotaryov, the oldest and a seasoned outdoorsman, and Yuri Doroshenko, remembered for his resilience. Yuri Yudin, the 10th member, was forced to turn back early due to illness, a twist of fate that ultimately saved his life. He would later recall the warmth and laughter of his friends, never imagining he would be the only one to return. Their journey began with laughter, camaraderie, and high spirits, all captured in candid photos and heartfelt diary entries. These moments of joy and togetherness would become precious memories, preserved in the pages of their journals and the smiles frozen in time. As they pressed on, the group faced deep snow, biting wind, and the relentless cold of the Siberian winter. Yet, their determination never wavered. They sang songs, shared stories, and supported each other through every hardship. On February 1st, after days of arduous travel, they began their ascent of Kholat Syakhl, Mountain of the Dead, in the local Mansi language, planning to cross the pass and complete their ambitious route. But as a fierce storm descended, visibility vanished and winds howled. Forced to stop, they made camp on an exposed slope, a decision that has been debated and analyzed ever since. Why not seek shelter in the trees below, where the forest offered some protection? Perhaps exhaustion or confidence in their skills led them to stay on the open mountainside. The reasons remain uncertain, lost to time. Here, on this windswept patch of snow, their adventure ended in terror. The camp, once filled with laughter and hope, became a silent witness to tragedy. The last camp would become the scene of one of history's greatest mysteries, a puzzle that continues to haunt and fascinate the world to this day. The tent was their sanctuary against the Siberian winter. On February 1st, the 9 hikers pitched camp on the mountain slope, preparing for another cold night. But something triggered sudden panic. The tent was slashed open from the inside. The hikers fled without boots or coats. Their belongings were left behind, untouched, a silent testament to chaos. Investigators found no signs of struggle or animal attack. It was as if they'd fled from an invisible terror, abandoning all logic and training. This desperate act became the central mystery of Dyatlov Pass. On February 26th, searchers found the abandoned tent, collapsed, snow-covered, and eerily silent. Inside, belongings were neatly arranged, but the tent was slashed from within. The first bodies, Krivonishenko and Doroshenko, were found near a cedar tree, stripped to their underwear, hands and feet burned. Broken branches suggested a frantic climb. Dyatlov's body lay halfway back to camp, reaching for safety. Zinaida Kolmogorova and Rustem Slobodin were found nearby, frozen in desperate poses. Months later, the last 4 were discovered in a ravine, buried under snow. Their injuries were horrific: crushed skulls, broken ribs, and missing eyes and tongue. No external wounds explained the trauma. The scene was chilling, orderly, yet marked by violence and fear. The mountain had claimed them, but the cause remained elusive. The mystery only deepened. What had they faced that night? The footprints told a strange story, one that began in the silence of the Ural Mountains and would echo for decades. Each step pressed into the snow was a silent witness to the final hours of the Dyatlov group. 8 or 9 sets led from the tent, some barefoot, some in socks, heading calmly toward the trees. The pattern was orderly, not frantic, as if the hikers had left with purpose, not panic. There were no signs of struggle, no evidence of animal or human pursuers. The snow was untouched except for the hikers' own tracks, deepening the mystery. The group left together, but as they descended the slope, their tracks began to scatter, splitting apart in the darkness and cold. The prints ended at the cedar tree, where the first bodies were found, huddled together as if seeking shelter or warmth. No other tracks, just the hikers' own. No sign of anyone or anything else crossing their path that night. The first 5 died of hypothermia, succumbing to the brutal cold. But the last 4 suffered massive internal injuries. Injuries so severe, they seemed out of place in this frozen wilderness. Dr. Boris Vozrojdeny, the lead forensic expert, compared the trauma to a car crash, forceful, but with no external wounds to explain the damage. It was as if the bodies had been crushed by an immense invisible force. Some of the hikers' clothing showed unexplained traces of radiation, a detail that only deepened the sense of unease and confusion. Lyudmila Dubinina's missing tongue and eyes added to the confusion, fueling rumors and speculation about what really happened that night. Scavengers were blamed, but the body's location, buried deep in the snow, far from any animal tracks, made this unlikely. The evidence was contradictory: orderly footprints, catastrophic injuries, radiation, and missing tissue. Each clue seemed to contradict the last, creating a puzzle with no clear solution. No single theory fit all the facts. Every answer raised new questions, and every detail seemed to lead further from the truth. The clues pointed everywhere and nowhere. The more investigators searched, the more elusive the answers became. The Dyatlov Pass incident defied simple explanation, standing as one of the most enduring mysteries of the 20th century. The puzzle only grew more complex, leaving behind a legacy of unanswered questions and chilling possibilities. The avalanche theory became the leading explanation. A slab of snow could have slid onto the tent, causing panic and a desperate escape. This would explain the slashed tent and hasty flight without gear. The severe injuries might be from the crushing force of snow. But the slope was not steep, and the tent wasn't buried. Skis and supplies remained undisturbed. The orderly footprints didn't match avalanche chaos. Why walk calmly for a mile instead of digging out gear? The avalanche theory answered some questions, but left others unresolved. For decades, it was a rational answer that didn't quite fit. The mystery persisted. When nature's answers fell short, darker theories emerged. Infrasound, low-frequency vibrations from wind, could trigger panic and terror, driving the hikers to flee. This explains the psychological chaos, but not the physical injuries. Others point to secret military tests. The Ural Mountains were a Cold War hub. Perhaps the group stumbled into a weapons test. Parachute mines could cause internal injuries without external wounds. Reports of strange lights and radiation fueled suspicion. A cover-up seemed possible, but no evidence of tests was ever found. Both theories explain some facts, but not all. The footprints, the panic, the injuries. No single answer fits. The Dyatlov Pass incident remained a riddle. The truth seemed just out of reach. Some theories venture into the paranormal. The Mansi people warned of spirits and forbidden places on Kholat Syakhl. Others believe the hikers encountered a UFO. Strange lights were reported in the sky. Chief investigator Lev Ivanov later claimed he was ordered to close the case, suspecting flying spheres. Some point to the Russian Yeti, citing a blurry photo and a joking diary entry. No concrete evidence supports these ideas, but the case's strangeness keeps them alive. The missing tongue, radiation, and terror all fuel speculation. When logic fails, the imagination takes over. The Dyatlov Pass incident became a legend, blurring fact and folklore. The mountain's secret seemed beyond human understanding. The mystery endures. 60 years later, the case was reopened. In 2020, Russian authorities concluded a small, delayed slab avalanche caused the tragedy. Modern simulations supported this. The hiker's tent destabilized the snow, and katabatic winds triggered a slide. The group fled, intending to return, but became lost in the blizzard. The new theory explained much: the panic, the injuries, the footprints. Yet, questions lingered about the terror, the radiation, the missing tongue. The Dyatlov Pass incident became a modern legend, a chilling blend of science and myth. The mountain may have yielded one secret, but not all. Some mysteries remain buried in the snow. What do you believe happened on that cold February night?